Today's guests are Galactica, Liverpool DJs, Harry Jackson, Jack Joynt and Jack Heaney over there. Today they're here to tell us all about the story and how they got started in that.
Cheers, Steve. Yeah, my name's Harry, 24, born over in Spain, Marbella, born into the party life really, to be honest with you. Lived in Liverpool a long time now, currently over in Toxteth. Really first got into music, to be fair, like just DJing in my mate's kitchen. And that's where it all began for me really. Music evolved over time.
I'm Jack, 24 as well, from Liverpool myself. I've just been for the years into the music scene from young, listened to like, started off with dubstep and garage and slowly moved along to house. Used to go around to my uncle's house and he had like vinyl sets, fucking looking around and stuff. And yeah, just got into that. That's how I started DJing.
So you started on the vinyls?
Yeah, started on vinyls.
Technic 1210s?
Yeah, put a set in front of me now, I can't do it anymore. It's been too long on air controls.
Out of practice, lad. Dubstep on a vinyl, would be crazy.
Is there a big difference on the digital machines now? Big difference?
Yeah, very big
A lot easier, you'd say digital?
Digital, yeah. Digital's a lot easier now.
A lot easier, yeah. Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot more you can do on a digital like controller than you can with a vinyl, but there's a technique and a sound to DJing with vinyl that I don't feel that you can replicate. I'm not personally a particularly good DJ on vinyls myself. Stick to the electronic side, but I know a few of the lads who are doing it on vinyl, and it's crazy skill.
It is a crazy skill, yeah. I remember from young days as well, on having decks and vinyl.
You must have, obviously you went on a journey individually. At what point, where did you all meet up, is what I'm trying to say, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, at the time, like for the age we were, we weren't going out yet to the clubs, we weren't 18 yet, unless one of us was borrowing an ID off one of our mates' older brothers or something like that. And so really we were partying in people's houses when the Mars and ours were away on holiday for the week, going Wales or something, free house, right, let's get the decks round, set up, have a gaff. And really we all met doing that. I think I first met JD over there at college, to be honest, just the smoking shelter, just went over and introduced myself, sound lad, and went from there, didn't I? I think I met you down at a boozer, didn't I?
Somewhere. I don't even know where we met.
Yeah, don't even remember.
I just remember being like gaffages.
Yeah.
So common interest then, right?
Yeah,
so
really, it just brought us all together. We all just all just had the love for the music and love partying. All got along dead well.
So this must have been around, what, 16, 17 years of age, teenagers, right?
Yeah.
So you lot got together. Obviously, the journey continues now. So you lot had a passion for music and you got on well with each other. Your characters, resonated with one another. So you got together more and more frequently, where that passion now of your interests has now taken you off to a new sort of aspect where you've grown as a DJ, which is bringing you it's a career now, isn't it? It's bringing you a livelihood.
It's definitely like it's a big part of our lives for sure. And I mean, it got started really like we were doing it at house parties and people were enjoying the music we were playing. We were all having a good time. We were enjoying playing the music, and people were like, "Oh, are you going to be DJing at the next gaff? Are you bringing the decks with you?" And we thought we could do this to like a wider audience here. Like people are enjoying what we're doing. We have fun doing it. Like how could we get started doing that? So we had a look into it. One of our other mates, he was studying music in college, and he knew a few guys who were producing music in Liverpool, and we had a chat with them about it, and they really helped us set up our very first event, which was under a different brand name to Galactica. That sort of evolved over time as our sound evolved, but it was more EDM housey kind of stuff compared to the minimal that we're really focusing on now, and that's really where the brand as sort of like a hobby really. It started first got going.
It's always a hobby in the beginning. Music is, it's good. A lot of people do, love music, different genres, but, it makes an impact. So, the intricate details of how this turned to a venture of business from your passion, do you know what I mean? I want you guys to explain it where it transformed, because obviously you're mixing and doing DJing where people are loving it and they want to know when you're going to do the next one. You know, they're excited, so the crowd's going to get bigger and bigger. That's what it comes down to, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, no one's going to turn up to a venue if there's a shit DJ unheard of. People follow, the crowd comes where there's a known name, someone who's like makes an impact, right?
Yeah, and that's definitely one way that you can bring that bigger crowd. Defo, a big name is gonna sell tickets, aren't you? But first and foremost, like we as DJs, we like to find new music ourselves as well. So I feel like we have that understanding and the knowledge of up and coming artists who are really making moves in the scene, in the genre, that maybe other people haven't heard of. And I think a separating part of Galactica that makes us a bit different to some other brands who like to book big names, who like to throw the residents on, and you know they're putting on good parties. We have an idea where we want to introduce that new up and coming talent from the music scene and give people that platform really to build their career as well. You know, you come to a Galactica party, you might not always know the DJ's name, but you know it's going to be a good party.
So another one now. So you've had 6 years on doing this in a professional way, and you've grown in 6 years to the age that you are today. Where's this journey taken you in terms of worldwide? Where have you performed, and you know, where's your music taken you?
First, obviously, like we were just doing Liverpool shows, weren't we? And we, through that, we sort of became part of a community. Like it was a Northwest collective to begin with, weren't it? North Collective, and met other promoters doing that. And one of the guys, Nathan, he had this idea to take sort of what we were doing in the northwest of England, sort of like all these promoters bringing these artists from all over Europe to come and play in Liverpool, in Manchester. Why can't we go and do that abroad? So he started looking into doing it in Ibiza, and from that stemmed the idea of sort of brand takeovers. So our brand is Galactica, we're a group of promoters, we go and put on a Galactica show over in Ibiza as part of a bigger festival. And the way that sort of like the idea was set up, it was like, it worked for everybody.
Wow.
Win-win for everyone, win-win for him, win-win for us. We got to go and play on them stages in a place we dreamed of playing since we first started. Obviously, every DJ, aspiring DJ, thinks, if I can get to play in Ibiza, that's the goal, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
I think that's sick, because, as in good, it's really good, because instead of being a solo DJ trying to get recognition, you've created an enterprise of selected DJs getting together, and you're working so well together. The sound that you're creating, the mixes and the blends that you're doing off the music is capturing people, the crowd, and now you've taken international as a brand that we will get, you know, they'll say, okay, we'll give you a 3-hour set or 2-hour set or whatever. So you're going to be like, yep. So now it's Galactica's time to perform.
Yeah, it was great.
Like, is that how it is, right?
Yeah, so it was really cool, wasn't it? We had a venue over San Antonio Bay Way, and we got it from doors open to doors closed. So that was special for us, and one of our most memorable moments. I think it's we really enjoyed doing that, and I think working together, it has become a bit of a community. And now the idea is sort of morphed a little bit, and we're sort of thinking, what are we going to do this year? And that was when we came back from doing the stuff in Ibiza. What are we going to do this year? Is Galactica, how's it going to evolve? Do we want to go and do that again? Do we want to morph it into something else? And we've got some good plans for the year ahead internationally. While we're on the topic, like in August we're going over to Croatia. And we can say that for now.
Sick country, by the way.
Yeah,
I've been there.
Yeah, so Croatia's like the new Ibiza, like in Europe.
Are you going to be there in summer?
Yeah, so it's August, mid-August we're going.
I might be there as well, actually, summer.
Slovakia, you go, don't you?
Slovakia, yeah, but I go to Slovakia, but we drove from Slovakia to Hungary to Croatia. Spent 2 weeks there.
That must have been a cool road trip.
It was a sick. I go twice a year, so
cool.
my wife's Slovakian, so we went to Croatia. It was beautiful. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's unreal.
See through the waters. Oh my God, it's beautiful. I would highly recommend people to go there on holiday. It's really, really nice. And if you're going to do a music festival or show there, it'll be sick.
Well, we went for pleasure a couple of years ago, didn't we, to another festival called Hideout, which is in just off Navalia, up Zadar way, like north of the country.
Yeah.
Gorgeous place. The drive was ages, weren't it, to get there?
Even the drive, the mountains, the beautiful roads.
It is. It's gorgeous scenery. Gorgeous. But like we went there just as festival goers, and it was boss. But now we're going to be going back. Split we're going to in August. Like more business minded, but still there to enjoy it more than anything.
So would you say that by you getting together from that young age and having that passion and resonating with one another and getting that bond together has actually benefited you guys by uniting together? It's kind of motivated one another, isn't it? You've encouraged one another and motivated one another to become the best versions of self in what you do, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's always, and having that support of your group around you all the time, it allows you to flourish and do that. Which
rather than being disheartened on your own, you're together and you encourage each other.
Yeah, precisely.
Isn't it? Encourage and grow together. And I think you've done wonderful. Hearing this story about 6 years of growing and becoming something, I think it's wonderful. And I think you're lucky that you've done it in Liverpool, because Liverpool is a home for British music. I believe so. I think it's a magnificent city, as well as having Manchester there. The nightlifes in these two cities is supposed to be, it's supposed to be pucker. And, even the London people, anyone who's been here, they'll say that. It's a very, Liverpool and Manchester is a...
Yeah, it's a hub for it. It's a hub for culture, and it has been historically as well, and it definitely is now. And there's the three of us sat here, me, Jack, and Jack, like founders of Galactica. But it is more than just us three. It is a proper community. In total, for Galactica, there's 9 of us. We've got 6 residents as well who play for us regularly, and it's not just about us getting to play on big stages with cool names. It's about giving them the opportunity as well, and sort of bringing everybody together along for the ride. And so long as we are like doing it together, that makes it better for us. That makes it worth it for us.
You said you played EDM music before you've done your Galactica stuff. Was the shift in the change because EDM music sort of died off in Liverpool? Does that make you change over then to whatever you're playing now?
Yeah, I mean, we had wildly different tastes, didn't we, Jack, to begin with? No, you did as well, JD. I mean, we've all come from a young age listening to rock music. I know me and Jack have listened to metal music for years and years. My first experience of EDM was The Prodigy when I was like 11. Epic band, by the way. But sort of like where we started with EDM, it was more like housey and garagey, and sort of like the heavier, quicker stuff. We'd sometimes like venture into like the bass line, the UK bass, drum and bass kind of aspects of it.
Early 90s.
And really, I think just as we evolved as DJs, are like what we enjoyed to play and what we liked to listen to when we went out partying ourselves, and just enjoying the music rather than being the ones putting on the show. Sort of our music taste evolved with that, and I was very, very strong, like fast EDM music was my thing, and you said, didn't you, your dubstep was your thing?
Dubstep was
and we've gone through proper disco-y phases as well, but like I feel like the minimal house sound and like the funky kind of house sounds really like where we're growing from more than anything, and people are liking it, what we're doing, so we're going to keep enjoy doing it as long as we're making people dance and bringing people together.
I used to work in a bar called Spanish Caravan in Prescott. Sadly, rest in peace, it is now shut. But on the bar we had a beer called a Stray Galactica, and one day some lad just came in and I was like, yes lad, there's a Stray Galactica there, and I was like, do you know what, I'll call the event Galactica. So that's where it comes from, just some Donny coming in saying, gives a pint to a Stray Galactica.
Me and you were struggling for a name for ages,
we were literally
because it was
called something else to start with,
it was going to be Fiesta something.
It was Fiesta
Galactica. We sat there
Galactica.
struggling, and he texted me, I've got it.
Fiesta Galactica we started off with, and then we were like, fucking, let's change it to a Galactica Collective.
How was the reaction then when you
Galactica.
changed to Galactica and you've got to push a new brand out then, sort of, haven't you?
Yeah, because originally we were called something else, but that came to sort of like it came to a natural end really with COVID, because we did our last show before that started, and when it came back, it didn't really get started again to the same level, and we thought, okay, let's just let's park that for a minute, park that idea, let's see what we've got going on, reset. And then these two sort of started putting on these little pop-ups in boozers in Prescott, and it started to grow and flourish again from there, didn't it? It's been a hell of a ride, hasn't it?
It's got a fresh air transitioning as well from doing all the more EDM kind of stuff into like the minimal and kind of like following the wave, but taking the wave and doing it in our own way, wasn't it?
That's exactly it. Yeah, I feel like that break was like going back to before, like how our music and how it changed over time. Like that break probably did have an impact on it, because we weren't fully focused and like thinking about the next thing we were doing and what's coming after this and looking for new music, because we had parked it and we took a break for a little bit. So in that time we got to sort of like discover more and explore a bit more and find a bit more what we were properly into, and that's sort of where we've landed now.
So are you working now, or is this your full-time thing?
I still work, mate.
You're working, aren't you? You're at uni, aren't you?
I'm back at uni, yeah.
You're at uni, and I'm studying as well at the moment. So really, it's our main thing for me and Jack, and it's certainly massive part of your stuff, isn't it? As well.
You're at university. How many years you got left for graduation?
Only on a foundation year at the minute, so I've still got another 3 or so years.
3 years.
I've chose my studies around Galactica, so I'm studying business and marketing. So I do all the promotional side of things. I do all like artist liaison, promoting ourselves and getting like the brand name.
So growing the brand name. So you've taken on a university degree purely for the aspect of growing your brand name, so you have the knowledge to do it yourself, so you don't have to pay big costs of it. So I respect that. And then you are
studying. I'm going to be an accountant for the very same reason, because I'll do all the financial side of things.
So you got an in-house
contracts,
in-house marketing,
expertise,
and then in-house someone who's going to do financial and all that. Because at the end of the day, it's not just the passion of the music.
It's about
it's about growing the finance and knowing what to do with that finance, taxing and all that, and splitting and making sure everyone's getting their fair share. So yeah, great guy, because you need that accountancy. Without having that, you're not going to have the growth. Yeah. And then yourself, you're obviously working, still part of the whole group, with the belief of growing this, where eventually you're not going to need to do that work, and you're going to complete your studies, you're going to complete, which is going to actually benefit your brand ultimately.
Yeah.
So you've come a long way, I think, from teenagers to the age of 24. Now, with this year starting, and we're still in the early part, when you look at your schedule of the diary and preparing for this year's events, obviously summers are going to start, and the festive periods and all that. Obviously now, as a business and as an artist of doing what you're doing, you need to fill that diary up. So have you guys started filling the schedules for this year, and how is it looking?
Absolutely.
Got a few dates on the table.
Yeah, so I mean, we've got some good plans for this year. Obviously, we mentioned Croatia before, which is going on in August. In collaboration with Split Presents, the festival. Same lad who we were in Ibiza with, Nathan. Great guy. Aside from that, UK based. In a few weeks' time, we've got our first big show of the year in Hippie Chic over in Keynes Brewery, part of the Baltic. And we're bringing Hidde van Wee, upcoming minimal Dutch artist. He's very, very skilled, great vibe, really good selector as well. And also a group called Watchers, who what they're bringing out at the moment. It's a different sound, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they've found their sound. Their most recent EP it slapped, didn't it? It was really good. So bringing them, and then some local talents as well. Got Marcus Hogan, Chris Coburn, two great lads. Supported us from our first big Galactica event a couple of years ago when we had Marcelo and Loudon in Kitchen Street. And they've said would love to play for you, love to be involved, and we thought, you know what, lads, yeah, you're doing your thing. They've just brought some records out as well, doing really well. So good to have them. And then of course all of our Galactica boys, the 9 of us. So it's going to be, how many is that? 15 people across 6 hours in 2 different rooms. Tickets are £8.
Wow, that's cheap.
Do you know what I mean?
Have you ever performed in London?
No, we've not actually. We've not had the chance to perform in London.
You lot need to go London because them tickets, which you're just telling me £8, will turn to £20 a ticket.
Well, that's
Or
it. So long, I think, and this is the other side of Galactica. You know, you've got brands in Liverpool who are doing £30 tickets, big names. Okay,
Right.
You know, if people want to spend £30 on a ticket to go and see a big name, that already exists for them in Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? We could copy and paste that if we wanted to and try and build it to that, but we don't want to just be that another brand.
No, you don't get that.
And I think it's also important, you know, if financially it makes sense for us, okay, I look at the expenses, right? So I'm looking at what the outgoings are on this event. I'm looking at, okay, what's the average sale price on the tickets? Okay, if we get the conservative estimate of tickets sold, are we going to be in the good or are we going to be in the shit? And based on that, we can sort of price tickets to make it accessible for anyone to come and really enjoy and be a part of it.
Are you reaching out to these people or are they coming to you now?
Who do you mean?
Like other DJs?
The fans. And,
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, like the local talent, they're coming. We've got people asking for the opportunity. I think the best thing is just come down and support us, show your face, and you know, show us what you're about. We'll have a chat with you, absolutely. Some of the bigger artists, obviously, we're going and asking for them to come and play for us. Think that they'd fit our style, but. Yeah, certainly we're all about giving that opportunity to the locals because that's really where we started, isn't it?
Yeah.
have you guys got social media handles and stuff all in place where they're growing with fans who come to your events and, you know, follow you guys?
Yeah, so we've got Galactica Collective on Instagram. We've got our TikTok set up as well. Everything goes on there, and you know it's very open for people to follow, message. We'll update stuff all the time. We've got our main feeds, more like our ticketed events and stuff like that, like the big ones where we have people come and play for us. But we've got weekly stuff going on as well. Our next residency is on the 28th of March.
Yeah, in Queens.
Or 28th of February. We're in February, aren't we? I'm thinking ahead already. But we've got the 28th of March as well.
Of February, you got what event?
Yeah, 28th of February. We've got 28th of March.
That's a special night, you know. 28th is the alignment of like 6 stars, 6 planets.
Seriously?
You're called Galactico. Make sure you mention this. This is a special night, people. It's the alignment of 6 planets, which is happening after a long time. You can Google it.
187 years.
But having a name like Galactica.
I knew that, 187 years.
He's on it.
187
Yeah, so you know I'm on.
You know, I'm a proper space nut. I've seen all.
Yeah. So you know I'm on the truth, right? I'm not giving you fibs. So on that night, make sure you let your crowd know that this is a special night, and you announce it on the microphone.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we've got the a residency 28th of March in the Queens as well, which is the week before obviously our first big show. So we'll see how that goes. That's a new venue for us over in Aintree, so really excited to play for that. They've got a bit of a stage set up, and I know that they get a good atmosphere on a Friday night and a Saturday night, so that's going to be good. Really following that, our next thing, other than working on something with the Spanish Caravan possibly in Liverpool rather than Prescott, after, you know, unfortunately that had to close its doors for the final time, which we threw him a belter last party for, by the way. That was unbelievable. Just the nostalgia of being there for 3 years, it was cracking. But June time as well, we're looking at doing a collaborative event, just to sort of put our resources together and knock heads together with a few lads that we've met in the community. Blurred Records and another brand called Raves, ran by a few lads, but looking for a nice name, similar to sort of what you said before, like a recognisable name for this one, given that on the 4th of April we're sort of bringing some up and coming talents from all over the place to come and play in Hippie Chic. This is going to be in the Bunker, just off Seal Street, which is a new venue, cracking venue. They've put this heavy lighting system up. It does strobes, like lasers, all different colours, goes in time with the music. Like one of the best setups I've seen in Liverpool. Yeah, and I mean, you go in there and the bass is, if the bass is cranked to the top, you literally feel it in your body. It's crazy. So we're excited to actually throw a show in there because we've not been in there before.
Right. I've got a question to ask you here.
Go ahead.
an in-depth look through the industry through your eyes as promoters and DJs dealing with headline DJs, agencies and promoters?
Headline DJs are just normal people, just like us. Agents like to be professional, keep things by the book, it's their job, innit? I think working with the management, working with the agents, I think that's something in the industry that's like evolved over time since we first started doing it, and now there's a lot more of an onus on the agencies being involved, of the people on their roster and their plans and what they're doing, and I suppose sort of that's like what they're being employed to do. Some I'd say are easier going than others. Some of them can be quite a challenge, but it's all part of the fun, really, setting it up and doing it and working around those challenges that they put in front of us. The funniest thing about the artists, I think, and like the requests that they make are sometimes on the riders. So a rider for an artist is sort of like when you book a headliner, they've got sort of like requests that they want. So when they come to play for you, they want whatever drink, whatever snacks or whatever. Some of the requests on there can be quite hilarious. I think as DJs ourselves, though, I think like if we were in a position to provide a rider to someone who wanted to book us individually, I feel like it's one of them. It's sort of like a running joke that you just put something dead random on there. One of the guys that we booked recently, he wanted this particular brand of incense stick imported for him, so he could have it on the decks. That was a crazy request.
Wow.
I've not seen that before.
So you have to get that imported?
Yeah,
Incense.
I had to have that ordered from abroad.
You actually got an incense stick
of
for
course
him, and
did.
you actually light it, and he's smelling the aroma.
I put it on top of the speaker. I've shit one because it was cloth.
That's
I was like, if the ash goes on, it's just going to go up in flames.
We had a panic, didn't we, at the start, because we thought, oh yeah, we've got everything sorted, and you went, do you have an incense holder? I went, shit. Don't you know? So you thought of absolutely everything but the incense holder. They're crazy.
Should have got a chewing gum and just stuck the stick in there and then like, put
Yeah,
a
or
plate
some blue tack or
underneath.
something. Yeah, absolutely. I think that the industry's growing, but it's struggling at the same time, because there's power brands who sort of can say what they want to say, and what they say goes really in the industry, because they're the power brand. People don't want to mess with them because they don't want to burn the bridge with them.
How do you work with them? No, there's one in Liverpool, isn't there? Particular one in Liverpool.
There is a particular one in Liverpool, and I think the best way to work with them is just not to. Personally.
So what you're saying is avoid them and grow your own brand.
Yeah, do your own thing.
Do your own thing,
okay,
isn't
yeah,
it?
they might be market leaders
Avoid
in the area, but you don't want to just piggyback on someone else's success, do you? You want to build it for yourself.
Well, I respect that, because at the end of the day, you know, you said DJs who are there before, but the youth are the future, so they're going to get old and they're going to get wrinkled and they're going to get retired, and then you guys who are youngsters coming off age, you're going to take over. And the youngsters who are the younger generation, they're going to be more inclined to you guys rather than us 40, 50-year-olds who listen to the older stuff. We're going to be like, you know, so you guys are the future, and what you're doing is ultimately going to grow to a level where you're going to end up becoming the leaders of, you know, what they were once upon a time. They're going to phase out, you're going to take over. That's how I see it. So what do you see yourself doing in the next 5 years growth? Have you thought about that? Because obviously you've started something, you're working. That 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, you guys are going to grow, trust me. This year, finish next year, third year, you're going to graduate. That growth that you've accumulated for now to there is going to financially put you on a better level, especially if you've done your accounting and everything properly, and, you know, built your, you know, foundation up from that wealth, because money is what gives you the ability to do power moves. That's how I see it. So it's what you accumulate which can allow you to get a more bigger venue, more money that venue's going to generate, because if there's a bigger crowd, bigger tickets, more sales, more profit. Do you understand? So
yeah, from a business sense, absolutely,
yeah,
it makes sense, because money allows you to do things that others wouldn't be able to.
Also the venue aspect, because the venue costs more. So where you are small right now, you're getting smaller places. As you grow and your crowd, your fans grow, means that your following grows. And then as you invest in the bigger sort of venues, it means that it's going to be even more lucrative with the return.
Well, you'd think exactly that, wouldn't you? And you know, if it was
In hindsight, yeah.
makes it sound very simple. You know, if it was so simple, obviously everyone would do it, right? But you think, as well as the money being sort of like a leverage, is the way you can't describe it, to be able to do them kind of things. So is having connections and having a community behind you and being able to do it as a collective group.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think that's something that, you know, Jack's doing his business and marketing, being able to promote, elevate the brand socially, online, business side of things, back end for me, contracts, finances, budgets, all that kind of thing, making the money that we're earning from doing things that we love, which is obviously the dream, making it work for us and helping us to grow. Jack's on working in the industry, like directly, not just with Galactica, but through hospitality as well. So we get great connections from knowing people in the industry through Jack, and so we're all bringing something to the table that's helping and supporting like our vision and our goal of what we want to do. Back to your question on sort of like the vision for 5 years, growth from now, I think we want to establish, don't we, ourselves as sort of kind of what I was leaning towards before, was being that sort of, it's easy to know that Galactica sort of guaranteed to put on a great party, whether you know the name or not. And, you know, it's going to be a good atmosphere, it's going to be full of friendly people, and the music's going to be boss. And that's really sort of like, we want to have that footing in the city. And with the sound that sort of we have, feel like that making it accessible, giving that platform to the upcoming talent, both locally and across Europe.
Well, this is,
you know, that's sort of the vision, to get that foothold, and then that can expand further internationally. Do you know what I mean?
It can.
With Ibiza last year, Croatia this year. Who knows what's coming next?
I feel it's the experience you give to your audience, your people who attend these parties, is what they feel within. And if that's a great night that they remember and think, whoa, that was a sick night, I want more of that.
Yeah.
That's like a drug in itself, like a, what is it called when you get a high, like you love something?
Yeah, it's a euphoria, isn't it? It's a
exactly.
feeling.
That feeling,
And that memory of it.
that feeling, memory, you want that experience to be in all your events, isn't it? And
Absolutely.
that's what's going to grow. So just listening to you guys and putting everything into perspective, I'm thinking like, I think you got something great going. I genuinely do. And I think if you keep that group and keep it united and solid with what you're building, you know, amongst yourself, and everyone's got key positions and everyone does the best of their ability to have those, you know, whatever position that you are in, doing the best you can, I think you can grow to enormous levels. I genuinely do, because I think music brings people together in a loving way, in a wholesome heart sort of loving way, that you bring people together. And the bigger this crowd grows, the bigger you guys are going to grow, because at the end of the day, you started off small, and that small thing from a house parties have grown to a venue in a club, and that venue has gone to a bigger venue. And, you know, I think that you are growing ever since 6 years since you've started to now. So I think that in the next 5 years, you can grow to something massive. We can sell out a whole bloody field. Like, do you know what I mean? I genuinely believe that you can do that.
You know, and that's absolutely the dream. You know, Sefton Park. We've how many times have we been to Radio 1, Sefton Park, something else going on in Sefton Park? Imagine Galactica stage, Sefton Park. That would be unreal.
Even Hyde Park in London and stuff like that.
You know, some other big parks, big green grass areas. I mean, that'd be insane. Putting on our own stage, something like that.
Yeah, stage somewhere would be.
Been to a few myself. Do you know what I mean? Don Valley and Sheffield. That's always a heavy one. That's always a heavy one. But I mean, like brand. I mean, in terms of the brand and like what we want to do with it. You know, we've got a good group of lads here. Tight-knit group of lads, and some of them are very, very talented. They're all very talented. Some of them are writing music now themselves, and you know, it's another area of expansion for us that we're looking at now that we've got people who are part of Galactica, in-house music producers. Now that's something that we can touch on more later down the line, because those plans are only sort of very, very small right now, and figuring out sort of how we're going to do it. But you know, that's another opportunity for us to provide the platform to essentially our friends. Do you know what I mean? That's what we're all about.
What are your, cause you've been going for like 6 years now as Galactica,
Yeah.
your standout moments?
What's yours, Jack?
Good question.
What's yours, lad?
There's quite a few. I would say, what day was that Paddy's Day one?
You know, that was when we first started. That was 2023, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2023, Paddy's Day. We did it in our residency at the time, obviously, Spanish Caravan.
It's St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, Paddy's Day.
Yeah.
We did it in Prescott, Spanish Caravan, and oh my god, it was mad. We thought it was going to be half like quiet, because normally everyone just goes to town, like, as a mad one. As we started DJing, it was like kind of empty, and then like we looked up like 20 minutes later, and it was just absolutely full. We were like, wow, that's where everyone came here from. But it was unreal.
That must be a good feeling for you then when you see everyone buzzing off the
That was
music and all
unbelievable.
that.
Someone brought bongos as well. They were doing the bongos, weren't they? Some Donny in the corner just walking the bongos. Yeah, that was a heavy day.
It's some atmosphere that way.
That was a really good one, that one.
Recently, last year, we had the garden party, didn't we? But I mean, unfortunately, I was away on holiday for that. Absolutely gutted to miss that. But
That.
I know that's definitely our Adam's favourite time, innit?
You should have been waving his hand then.
Yeah, looked like a boss day, that. What was your favourite, Jack?
Probably the third birthday last year, to be honest, in December. The Laidlaw, Dennis Quinn, Julian Anthony, probably the biggest show, well, definitely the biggest show that we've done today.
Absolutely the biggest show we've done to
Yeah,
date.
100%. But
Yeah.
it was one of our residents, Chris, we don't describe it perfectly. He said it was a full circle moment. Now we've got a little inside thing. Our track is You're In My System by Kerry Chandler and Dennis Quinn. And we were fortunate enough to book Dennis Quinn to close out the night for us. So 5 to 4, when everything's about to finish, he plays the track that pretty much started this whole journey for us, didn't he?
He did.
And it was
You're In My
just, it
System.
was so good to have him, the guy who made the track, playing it himself with all of us in the booth, dancing with us and everything. It was just, it was a proper like full circle, like wow, we've made it kind of moment, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's
We've
like
not
it was
made
like a
yet.
goal for us, wasn't it?
There's no ceiling on really how far we can go from there, is there?
Not
We
really.
seem what we're capable of now, and it's just a case of snowballing, man. It's just something even bigger.
That was special for us, wasn't
Yeah,
it? That,
100%, yeah.
like, just personally for all of us, that was special.
Being able
Not
to
only
play on that
but-
stage as well, all three of us played in the main room, didn't we?
Yeah.
Warming up with the headliners, and the amount of times, like the big events that we've been to in there before, as well, seeing some of our favourite artists, to be able to hand over to our favourite artists on that stage was just...
Yeah,
Next
dream come true, really, lad, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean?
These thingies, you mentioned Sefton Park playing there before. The Palm House is a bit of a venue there, isn't he? Would you never try and get in there?
I think Palm House would be a heavy venue to play in. I think if we were to do that, we'd sort of go more the day party kind of vibe, I think, and go into the early morning, and have like a full day session Palm House. It'd be working it out. I know that another brand that we know quite well and that we get along with quite well. They're doing really well at the moment. They've got something in the Palm House coming up soon, and it seems like when they do something in there that everyone enjoys the venue. So there's no reason why we wouldn't be able to do it. We're looking at doing something spooky, aren't we, towards the back end of the year? So maybe could dress the Palm House up a little bit. See if we can get that for a spooky night to close the year out for our plans before we work on next year.
You could even get in, if you're doing a spooky one, you could even get in the Asylum.
Yeah, that'd
Newsham
be
Park.
crazy. I know that there's always something booked in there though on Newsham, isn't there?
Yeah.
For the date that we would want. Yeah, for the date that we would want. But there's always going to be a lot going on that date. It's a big night in the year, isn't it? So
And it's a Saturday this year as well, so...
well,
Yeah.
yeah.
But again, you've had some good moments. I'm going to ask you, have you had any moments where you've thought, fucking hell?
Go on, lads, you share.
Starting when I first started DJing and working in Spanish Caravan, there was a big brawl, and for some reason the manager was like, Jack, we need to split this up. So I was like, come on boys, split it up, and some Donny just went, ha, I'm going to stab you, and I was like, whoa, yeah, nah, like that. I just walked away, and then the busies came in, and just everyone just fucking got. That's a shut at like 9:30. I was fuming. Saturday night, busy and as well.
Bloody hell.
It's a big problem with that kind of scene though, because there's a lot of people who are drinking and obviously do a lot of other stuff besides drinking as well, don't they? So you get the odd knobhead or two, don't you? Who ruins the fun for everyone else, but
Always
the
do.
few and far between really, aren't they?
Less so in Liverpool than anywhere else. I've been for a party too.
Yeah.
People in Liverpool, like,
I mean, that's why we
Normally quite
shifted
reasonable.
more towards doing tickets at events with like booking big headliners, because that's why I prefer going to events and raves and stuff like that myself, because when you go clubbing, people are all there for different reasons. But if you go into a ticketed event, you've got to pay money to go and listen to the music that's there. Everyone's there for the same reason, to dance and have a good time. Whereas if you go on a night out or something like that, there's a lot more trouble because no one really is. So
Yeah, for sure. What would you say your worst experience was then?
probably the very early days when we first started and we done like 3 ticketed ones really early on. But we were kind of nobodies really, maybe like 100 or 200 odd followers on Instagram, trying to sell tickets to pretty much no audience and thinking, you know, we sold like 8 tickets in the event tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
we
those are
flopped, but
difficult. Those are difficult times that you go through when you're building it.
it's
Definitely.
always in the build-up to it though, isn't it, that you think,
Yeah.
I mean, especially nowadays with everybody struggling for money and not really going out as much anymore, people are leaving it till the very last minute, so we'll be waiting till the Friday when the event's on the Saturday and going, oh, we've sold those tickets, we're not going to make any money here, and then the next day, luckily it all works out in the end, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's happened to us on a
Yeah,
few
that's
occasions,
the-
hasn't
the
it?
more
A few
solo one.
occasions, yeah.
It's the
Marcel.
momentum in the start then. You're saying
Yeah.
the early momentum, the first steps are the hardest.
They are. I think the hardest part about it is just to not panic. I think like just to keep your head straight is one of the biggest challenges about doing this, and just being calm and composed. And I think that comes more with experience. We find it easier and
Found
easier
our
every
foot-
time.
After the
don't we?
few, we found our foot now, haven't we? I
Yeah,
think?
yeah, exactly.
And obviously,
it's
like you said in the beginning, that brawl, that's part of learning and experience, you know, where
there's
to
always
avoid
gonna be
and what to,
something
you know. Because
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
exactly.
you are doing big events, big parties, people are going to drink, people are going to call. So you need to manage, eliminate, because you
Yeah.
to get it under control so the party carries on, get these bad, you know, people with bad blood out.
Yeah,
Exactly.
get my vibes out and bring it all good in.
Yeah, and I think that it's all part of growing, isn't it? It's all part of
Part
part
of
of
the
getting
learning.
experience. You know,
Yeah.
with, like it's you learn by doing. I think in this industry, you can read about the music industry in a textbook if you want, but you go out in there and it's nothing like it. Do you know what I mean? It's
Regarding the ticket sales there, you said you'd sold like 8 the day before the gig. Was there ever like a point where you thought, this is not going to work out, this, do you know what I mean? And or
more
did
than
you-
once. Yeah.
100%.
Of course,
Plenty of times.
like I think like any entrepreneur at some point you sat there going, shit, am I actually going to be able to make something out of this?
Or am I going to be in debt?
And you know, there's tough times financially, tough times mentally as well, aren't there, for all of us building it and growing it, but sticking together was the main thing for it. I think not getting at each other's
Your
throats.
mental health is linked to that financial.
For
Trust
sure.
me. It's like if your finances are gone down and you don't know how you're going to pay your bills, you're going to have serious anxiety and bloody mental health is, you know, you're going to be on the edge now.
Yeah.
You're going to have your short fuse lash out because you're going to be like thinking, shit, I've got bills to pay. I'm going to pay them. I'm going to pay for the rent and the electricity and everything. And then you've got family, wife relying on your partner or whatever.
And when you first start, obviously, like it's quite like it's intrinsically linked into your everyday life, right? And I think as you grow it, like the way we're looking at it now, it's like something that we enjoy doing, that we can make something of by doing it, and it's growing and it's working for us right now. And I think as you progress through that, you have got to compartmentalize. Like you can't let your expenses from a business perspective affect your personal everyday finances, and that's the key really to being able to keep level-headed when it comes to the money side of things, for sure, is being able to separate personal from business and not letting them overflow too much. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Because I
shouldn't.
think so long as your bills are paid and you got food in the fridge, I think like that's the most important thing for anyone, and your family and everything like that. You can, if you got that sorted, then
that gives you peace
can-
of mind.
Exactly.
That gives you the ability to now focus on your business
Exactly.
venture.
You're allowed to then just be calm and composed and think forward. Okay, what can we do with this? Okay, that's a challenge. That's a hiccup. Okay, how are we going to overcome it?
Yeah, what was the gig when you realised, fucking hell, it's working for us now? Was there a turning point? What was that, the gig?
I feel like when we were asked to do the garden party was the first step, weren't it? After Marsolo and Loudon playing for us, and then that leading on to, okay, we've been invited to go and do something in Ibiza. That was like, right, this is serious for us now. We've got our third birthday coming up since establishing as a brand, and let's put something on for this. Let's do something bigger than we've ever done before, because let's ride this wave that we've got. Like being asked to go to Ibiza and do a takeover over there, that really gave us that eye-opening moment that you're talking about. Like, okay, this is happening now, and really just trying to keep that momentum going. Hence the plans that we were talking about before for the rest of the year. So very exciting stuff coming up. Really looking forward to it, aren't we, lads?
I always say planning is everything. That's half of your success is in the planning. That's the major aspect. If you got the plans right and done the foundational work, you'll succeed. Anyone who puts energy and effort into the planning stage means that you're gonna smash the event out. If you're not if you haven't done the planning, you're gonna, you're just hoping something. You're on edge, isn't it? You're trying to you're under pressure as well, and things will go all wrong.
Well, that's it, and these lot know how organised I like to be. Yeah. I'm bad for it, aren't I? It's spreadsheet after spreadsheet after. They call me Spreadsheet Harry sometimes, because literally everything is planned out to the minute and the pence. Like, and it's got to be. That's how you run a successful business.
That's it. Like, that's it. I agree with you absolutely.
You gotta have, if you can't see it, you can't control it.
Well,
right?
you forecast it on paper.
Well, yeah, you got to extract. But you can do, and you can budget, and you can look forward. But really, the best way is to just extrapolate from past data, right? And then you can really forecast and see what might happen based on previous trend.
Well, I tell you what, it's great thing you mentioned that, because when you start forecasting, and then you've got 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, what you start learning is, when you start reflecting on, because when you forecasted something for the future, and when the event takes place, you end up smashing that forecast. What you made, you end up breaking that, because you've done the preparation even better. So when the day comes, you're expecting these figures to happen, but you think, fucking hell, we've smashed those figures. We've actually exceeded what we planned out to do. So that gives you a buzz and an upliftment, right? But when you reflect back on your old figures and you see seasons, January, February, even the weeks, you can see that how you've grown and where the busy period is and where the quiet period is in the year. So for the following year what you need to do, because now you're seeing that every year there's a trend that this time is the busy season and this is the low season. So that this is the area we need to fucking put all our energy into to maximize what we get out.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So this is what I'm saying, that what you're doing is great, because you're writing everything on paper, forecasting, but now when that turns into annual accounts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can reflect back and exactly how the trend is of the seasons, of the, where the maximum gain is.
And we can plan around it, right? Because that also tells us when people are more likely to go out and want to party, and they're looking for something to do. We can plan that and cater to the crowd as well, based on the time of year that we see more people coming out. We monitor what other people are doing, what other brands are doing. Like, you've got to have eyes on the industry. So it's about like just being a part of it, and if you're involved and you've got eyes on, then it makes things a lot easier to be able to plan, to organise, like you say, and sort of continue to sort of grow what we're doing, really.
So this is going to become your full-time thing eventually?
That's what we'd like it to be, yeah.
So future plans for Galactica, and where do you see yourselves as a brand?
I don't even know. Hopefully still be around and doing the events. Like,
more continental though. Would you say you want to push more out into Europe than just the UK?
I think Europe is something that we want to continue to dip our toes into. This year, obviously, we've got the full takeover day as part of the Split Presents Festival. The week before us, there's some massive names playing. The week after us, there's some massive names playing. We've got the Thursday. The lineup for it's actually out very, very soon. So if you are following us or you've got eyes on the Split Present page, then you'll be able to see that shortly. But the idea with that is we've got all our residents, we've got people that we know. That's what we're thinking more internationally, is being able to go over and go, right, we're doing a Galactica stage for the day, and anyone who's at that festival will know, okay, I want to go to that stage because I know that that's going to be a good party, and I know it's going to be a good atmosphere, and I know that they're all going to be friendly people over there, and the music's going to be boss. So we've got 2 boat parties on the same day to take our mates and anyone who's coming down to listen to what we're doing, and take them on a boat party over to a beach club, bring them back from the beach club over to mainland Split. That's another boat party. And then we've got an afters going till the early hours. And that's going to be a 16-hour day for us, isn't it?
Bloody hell.
10 hours of which is going to be spent behind the decks. And yeah, we're buzzing for that. And that kind of set up rather than just going and playing in a club.
There's 10 hours behind the decks, is that?
Split,
yeah.
Giving many DJs a chance to.
And some of the hours will be back to back, so you've got 2 hours, two day DJs playing for the hour, so we could have up to like 18 different DJs playing in one day for Galactica across 4 different venues, if you like.
Wow.
And we're enjoying doing that in Europe, and we obviously having only done it in Ibiza before, we've obviously got to look at how viable it is to continue doing it, and like sort of what is it worth branching out yet? Is it too early to really focus on doing that yet? Should we stick to what we're doing now because it's working for us for a bit, and before we sort of expand to that next stage? And I think that's why we kind of like this idea. It's not fully committal, if you like, because it's not like you're organising and having to do the whole thing. There's a great team of people who are doing that on the back end. God knows how stressed they are doing it. And we have to organise one day, right? Yeah. So compared to what they're doing, fair enough, fair play to them. We're quite happy with the setup we've got now, and it's a great opportunity for all of us.
I think you'll do good in Germany as well as Holland.
There's that
Holland.
Yeah, I mean Holland,
especially
a lot of the
Amsterdam.
artists now are coming from Holland, right? And we had Marsolo who played for us last year. He's from Amsterdam. Dennis who played for us also.
Well, I was going to say Amsterdam.
Yeah, Julian Anthony also played for us. Netherlands. Upcoming Hidde van Wee, flying him in from Holland as well.
Well, have they not said to you guys invited you to say, look, come organise events in Holland, like Amsterdam as well as Germany? Because I genuinely think you guys will do great, because I used to travel into these countries in my young days.
Yeah.
You know, I used to go with my mates to Amsterdam, and you know, every year it was a thing. And bro, the amount of bloody people I used to see there on night raves, oh my god.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, that city is a very big city for something that you guys do. And that's why I'm saying that something that where you got the DJs coming from there already, you've got a relationship already there, they can probably hook you up with a venue or something. And you know, that might be an avenue for you guys to look into, as well as Germany. Germany's got a bloody big following for DJs.
Yeah,
as well.
Absolutely. It's massive all over that part of Europe, isn't it? And I think like it part of that, and branching out over to sort of where the minimal scene was sort of born, and it is really strong at the moment, is definitely like something that we have thought about.
I wish you well, all the best.
Yeah, and I think obviously, like you say, like as much as finance is a leverage for doing something like that, so is the connections, and you know, it speaks volumes that, you know, we've worked with some big name artists really, especially for the 3rd birthday, who've invited us to go to their shows, and you know, offered us guest lists, because they were took back a little bit, because when we treat everyone who we book really the same as we treat our mate who's a resident, right? We want to look after them. They're coming to a place they might not have played before. Want to make sure that they're all right, they're happy, and like sort of making it as easy as we can for them. Really just taking care of them. And I feel like the artists do appreciate that very much so. So building that connection and that relationship with these people, you know, could be a door opener for us to expand further and do things like that. And it's all about having them connections and being involved in the industry,
Nurture
but
them.
Also not being a knobhead about it, not being arrogant about it. And I feel like that is also, you know, it's not a massive issue in the industry right now, but you do see it now and again, and people whose heads are blowing up bigger than they should be. And you know, so long as for us, you just keep it real. That's all we're about, really.
For anyone who wants to dip the toe into the promoting or the DJing side of it, is there any advice that you give to them?
Good luck.
Definitely. If it's something that you want to do, get into it. I think having a plan first helps.
Yeah, not going straight into it.
Yeah, don't dive in at the deep end. Think about it first. Have an idea. Do it for the right reason. I think in terms of doing your if it was advice for getting into the promotion, doing your very first event, I think the mistake that we see smaller brands make more often than not is putting on a facade to try and show people they are something that they're not. Like, just be who you are. Like, be your individual selves. If people like you, they're going to follow your brand and they're going to promote you. If you aren't that, and that facade slips later down the line, people are going to be like, what the fuck's going on? This is not what I signed up to. This is not who I started following 2 years ago. This has changed dramatically. Do you know what I mean? So be real, be true to yourself, and just be your own
Basically,
individual
be authentic and not fake.
Yeah, exactly. There's no point, right? There's no point, and you know, people are going to do what they want to do. There's going to be people who are. There's going to be people that aren't. But my particular advice to anyone who's starting is there isn't any point. There isn't any point. Just be yourselves. Have fun doing it. If you're not having fun doing it, it's not going to work for you.
To be honest with you, I think we've interviewed you guys, and I think from start to finish, we've given the blueprint for how these guys started. It's like, God, it started as a passion, friends getting together, underage, you know, doing their parties in the houses, house parties, got recognized, and then they started growing. It's as simple as that. You know, don't give up. If you've got a passion for something, just get the right people together. You are going to resonate with one another, motivate each other, and that will build your team. Once you've got your team, you encourage one another, and you start growing. And that's what I've learned from you guys by interviewing you guys. And I think that's for the audience to see, black and white, what their journey's been like and how they've grown from kids into adults who are 24, studying in university, studying accountancy to grow this venture, what they've built from nothing into a viable business that's going international now and going to places. And that's coming through hard work, because hard work, comfort is the killer of success. They haven't been sitting on their asses. They've been grafting year in, year out, and they've been growing on that. And that's literally what you guys have been doing to come to the stage where you are today, to now forecast the future, which you're doing really well as a business. And speaking to you, you know, it's like you got so much collectively together at a young age. You've learned so much, and you understand these very intricate parts of business, what most people don't understand. You know, to write these things down, forecasting what we discussed, that comes through someone who's got the understanding of business. I think you're the captain of the team, though, personally. I think you're the captain.
We all bring our own individual things to the table. I think what you're seeing and what we've spoke about, it shows, like, yeah, you do need a business mind as part of the group, but you also need the creative mind. You'd also need the social mind.
Yeah, of course.
And you know, we work together on everything, really, don't we? There's nothing that I would do that doesn't go through you.
If we don't all agree on something, we don't do it.
And that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
You can't force it. It's got to happen natural.
It has to happen natural. And the other thing is, I think every person brings their own aura and energy. A team is built with individual people, okay? And each person's like a pillar. So when you've got a roof, if one pillar breaks, the structure's going to come on 3, and then eventually only 2, and then it's going to collapse.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Too much for 2
so
people.
Each person is like an important pillar of what you've built, and that's holding the whole enterprise up. When people start disappearing, key people, key players, that structure's going to collapse, and then it's going to be no more.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, that it requires team effort, and then, you know, that's where you guys have created that team. And, you know, you guys are here, but there's other people who are also intricate, important parts of this team.
Yeah, exactly. And like a team, when you look at it from a business sense, but first and foremost, like, it's a family, innit?
It is a family.
Family.
Love. I say love leads to light, light leads to peace and tranquility, that leads to success, blessings, which is real life success. So if there is no love, there is no light and harmony. Do you understand? And that ain't
Exactly.
going to be no peace, and then without that, there's no success. So
One final question before we wrap it up. If there's anyone you want to promote or promote yourselves,
give your social media
yeah.
account details, you know, what to follow for the, you know, for the camera, for people watching. Your details.
Can I have some of your water? Sorry, I'm choking the words here.
I thought, my
Powered
throat
through
keeps
that,
going.
haven't I? Fucking hell.
Big dying for a fish.
Nah, lad, I've got a big storage area, it's fine.
Big bills.
Big bills.
Please, can we, can we get onto the story of big bills, please?
oh yeah, go on then.
Speaking about promotional side of things and stuff like that, can we go into that?
Big bills, yeah.
We were filming content. We were trying to film content in one of the bars ages ago. And as I went round with the camera, like panning to H, and he started talking. Yeah, we've got very big bills, and then he went, big bills, and we all just started bursting out laughing.
Always, basically, he said, we've got a few big dates coming up.
Big lineups, big dates, and I said bills instead.
So me and Jack, Heaney,
Yous were crying.
we were like two school kids who were in trouble. We got kicked out the bar, didn't we? We fucked us off. And he comes out and he goes, fucking hell, he should have just went commando then, shouldn't he? You know, outside, crying. It was very solid half an hour, that, wasn't it? And then you walk past looking at us and me and him, and listening to me on our hands and knees, crying with laughter.
I could not say, I was nicknamed Big Bills for weeks after that, weren't I?
You'll check this big bills in his phone.
H Big Bills, yeah.
That's really honest.
Really?
Couldn't say, anytime we were trying to record something else, like promo-wise, like in a venue or something, one of us would just whisper Big Bills into the room and we'd all just break.
Hey Siri, call Harry Jackson. Calling Harry Jackson, big bills.
DJ Big Bills then. Your individual name.
DJ Big Bills, yeah. Gotta be authentic, mate. Gotta be authentic.
Is there any other DJs who are coming to play for you? You want to give them a shout or anything?
I mean, obviously, get following Galactica Collective on Instagram. I'm Hartson.music. We've got Heaney.music, and we've got Jack Joynt as well.
Yeah, man's Jack J _22.
But follow the brand page. All our residents are on there. There's a little introduction and sort of small interview Q&A with every single one of our residents, so you can get to know who they are. Find their sort of showcase mixes about what their sounds are like over on our YouTube as well, Galactica YouTube. Also on SoundCloud if you prefer. And upcoming, we've got Hidda Van Way, Watchers, Chris Coburn, and Marcus Hogan in Hippie Chic and the Yellow Sub Bar over in Cairns Brewery in the Baltic on the 4th of April. We'll see you there.